How have you defeated your haters? Pick a card. Here are your piles. We'll see you in your reading. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out, how have you defeated your haters? I'm getting on this pile that it could be family members, friends, exes, co-workers, communities that you could be experiencing hate from. This first hater is someone that you need to immediately run from. Okay, so there's certain traits that they have that make you want to go ahead and escape because they're so toxic. But I'm also getting a twofold meaning on this, and it's something about them. Not only you need to run from them, but they like to run from accountability. They're those types of people. So whenever they have a conflict with you, instead of resolving it, they like to blame you so they can escape this accountability that they should be taking ownership for. This particular hater wanted to defeat you by having more insight than you, being this seer, this person who had more insight and foresight, more wisdom than you. That's how they wanted to defeat you, so that they could one-up you. But you defeated them because you're able to cut through the bullshit and remove things that don't serve you. And you're brave enough to do that. You're brave enough to be who you are. You're brave enough to be on your own and stand alone. And you have the ability to rescue yourself. You're not looking for anyone else to rescue you. You can do it on your own. You also defeated this hater because you have the ability to harvest, to grow, and to plant seeds, but you're strategic on where you plant seeds. Just like an investor, when they're investing in a company, they're going to get information first and see if all of that information they've gathered and that data that they've gathered legitimizes them actually investing in that company. And the same is true with you. When you go into connections and relationships, you gather information first to see whether or not they're actually worth the investment for you to put the work in. And if you see over time that they're not worth the investment, you know this isn't fertile ground. I don't need to invest here. So you're strategic on where you harvest. You have defeated your haters because most of your investments grow because of your strategy. You have this other heart-to-heart hater. There's someone that they like to appear like they have deep conversations with you. They want to be intimate and close. They say that there's someone who is blunt and honest, but that blunt and honest is a cloak they use so that they can put you down. So if they're saying something insulting you, they'll just say, oh, I was just kidding. I was just being honest. So this is that type of hater. This hater, they wanted to defeat you by having authority over you. They wanted to dominate you and treat you like you were a slave and they were the slave master. But you defeated them because you're someone that battles and fights for what is yours. You were not going to tolerate any disrespect. You have honor for yourself and you call the shots on how you're going to be treated. You have loyalty to you, so no one's going to just treat you any kind of way and get away with it. You've also defeated this hater because you're someone that's so wise that people consult you and ask you advice on what they can do in certain situations with toxic people. But because you've experienced so many bad people in your life, in your lifetime, that experience, you've learned from that, from the people, to look for the signs, to look for the red flags, and it's given you this level of wisdom. You have this other hater with By Felicia. There's someone that will get left in real quickly when it comes to partnerships. Because there's something that they do that makes them get left in the first place. So this particular Felicia hater, what's happening with them is they wanted to defeat you because they wanted you to be this gambler. They wanted you to take this risk to be in connections with them so that you could be stuck on addictions, right? And it could be addictions to partying, being lavish in your spending, and using it on credit, just basically effing up your credit, getting into debt, making you appear as if you're successful and you're living your so-called best life by spending all this money and gambling and not really thinking about the future, but just doing whatever without even thinking about it. They wanted you stuck in these types of addictions, and that was what they wanted to do to defeat you. But here you were as this trusted friend that was very supportive, but you were supportive of yourself too, and you were trusting of yourself, knowing that they didn't have right motives towards you. So I'm getting friend vibes, of course, on this pile, that they wanted to keep you caught up in addiction so you wouldn't be successful. And so you, as this good friend to yourself, you recognized that you needed to support yourself and recognize and trust you that something's wrong in this connection. And that you needed to be the captain of your own ship and make sure that you were the leader of your own life and not let addictions lead you like these Felicia haters was trying to make you do. You have this lipstick evidence hater. Already shows that this hater is someone who is disloyal. They like to cheat. They get caught cheating. They betray. They backstab you, and not think twice about their stabbing you in the back. Whether they're gossiping and spreading rumors that are lies, that are false about you. Family members that are spreading lies because there's just someone that just, they're mad, they're hating on you. So they got to figure out how to make you look bad. Whether these are communities that you've left in the past, they're the ones that are also betraying you and spreading rumors that are false about you. This particular hater or haters, they wanted to defeat you with their grand schemes by being cunning, right? And they had to use manipulative methods to keep you trapped. So could be in a friend group, they wanted to keep you trapped from moving on to find better partnerships. So they tried to make your self-esteem low, cause conflict, different methods that they would use. Gaslight you and make it seem like it's you, not them. Family members, they can do the same too. You could be focused on your goals. They could say you're being disloyal to the family because you want to focus on goals that make you happy. That's another scenario. Any type of organization that you've left behind, coworkers or at work, you leave them behind. They're saying you weren't a good employee anyways. Whole time you were leaving a shady, cunning boss or coworkers who were bullying you and harassing you. Any type of cult or organization that you had to leave behind, they were using these deceptive methods to get you back into that organization, that cult, or whatever that is, because then they could keep you trapped from moving forward towards anything that would bring success in your own life. But you defeated these haters because you became a legend. And how you became a legend was all these people that have energy of betrayal and disloyalty. You were a genius that had the intellect and the extraordinary ability to be able to determine or to see the red flags and to diagnose these situations and say, oh, wow, these are horrible people. These are betrayers. These are people who operate in deceit. They're disloyal. And I can see by their behavior. I can see it by their manipulation. I can see it by their tactics, their narcissistic tactics that they use. And through those observations, I'm using my intellect to be able to defeat these haters. You have this other hater or haters, the receipts hater, where there's clear evidence that they are guilty as charged. So anything that they've done to you that was deceptive, it already came out. So evidence came out that they tried to be deceptive towards you. These haters, they wanted to defeat you by swindling you in some way, shape, or form. They wanted to steal from you in some way. So it could have been stealing your energy. Friend group, they want to steal your energy because you're high vibrational. An ex, they want to steal your money in some way, shape, or form. They also want to steal your opportunity to go get with another partner where you could have a long-term relationship. So stealing your time, that's another way to swindle you. Organizations, they can steal your energy and all of your years of you trying to be loyal to their organization. Whole time they're just sucking you dry. You get nothing out of it. But you defeated these haters because you could see that they were trying to keep you caught up in abuse, right? Because they want to abuse you. They want to use you up for what benefits them. They want you caught up in addictions, right? They want just like them. So if you're caught up in addictions, then you're trapped just like they are. But here you are being this nurturer. You're someone who has enough self-love for you that you were able to avoid these addictions. You were able to learn your lessons about all of the abuse that was taking place and to leave it behind, right? And to love yourself enough to leave them behind. And whatever you were looking for outside of yourself, you gave to you, right? Because it's already inside of you anyways. So this is what made you defeat them. You have this other hater who is fuego. You know, they are very imbalanced right now. Things are heating up for them emotionally. They are very much so imbalanced. And I guarantee you this hater or haters are imbalanced because they didn't get their way. Maybe they wanted to do something unjust towards you, but you put your foot down. And so that made things heat up for them where they're just like, they can't stand it. They can't stand that they weren't able to take advantage of you. This hater wanted to present that they had pure intentions towards you. That's how they were trying to defeat you, is give you this fake mask of purity, that they were disciplined themselves. They were someone who was a seeker of self, that they were someone that was growing, but it's all aesthetic. It's something that was on the surface, but not what it really was. But that's how they wanted to defeat you, was presenting this false persona and thinking you would believe it. Whole time you've defeated them, right? Because they're the one that's a lost soul. And you're able to determine that they're lost souls. You're the one that has this seeker of clarity. Whole time they're the wanderer, and they're the ones that are struggling and confused, right? You're the one that defeated them because you were able to call it out. You knew what they were. And you took leadership authority as this individual entrepreneur to be able to leave these types of haters behind, because you knew that they were wanderers. You knew that they were confused. You know that they were struggling, and you knew that they were trying to present this false persona to you, right? But they had wrong motives towards you to bring this false persona, but most likely to trap you in some way, shape, or form from evolving. Spirit, can you give me any descriptions for these haters that pile one has defeated? A mother, oh, and those moms, sometimes they made different decisions. They want you to make the same decisions they made, even if they were the wrong ones. That's why they're a hater. You have an Aries. You have a Libra who's hating. You got someone who's in the mining industry hating. Someone with red wavy hair. Someone with brown eyes. Aunties fell out. as I was pulling, Hawaiian and Pacific Islander, someone in secret society, societies that don't make it clear about what they do and their practices, someone who's curvy. I got leader, someone with red straight hair, someone in the transportation industry that's hating on you, Latinx, someone in construction, Aquarius. I could go on for days. Spirit, is there anything, any takeaway messages you'd like to provide to pile 1? I am magnetic to what I want. I repel what I do not want. So that's a good message, because you want to focus on the things you do want in life. As I had said in the reading, that you strategically look at where you should invest, right? So be very careful about where your investment goes and vet out people first, right? Before you invest, because a lot of these haters around, you can't tell at first who they really are until you give it a little time and you get a little information and gather and look at the red flags. But always focus on what you do want and you'll get a good outcome in the end. Those are the messages I have for you, Pile 1. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Plus comment if any of these messages resonated with you. I offer personal readings and the details are in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out, how have you defeated your haters? Now, I'm getting that this could be family members, friends, exes, co-workers, bosses, and communities. So this first hater or haters, their characteristics are someone that is untrustworthy. They get exposed a lot for the things that they do sneaky behind the scenes. This hater, they were trying to defeat you by being very strategic. They were looking at you like you were prey and they were the stalker, and that through their strategic pursuit, they would be able to defeat you. So they were watching you very, very slowly, looking at your moves that you made and trying to figure out how to strategically move according to how you were moving. But you defeated this particular untrustworthy, spilling the beans hater because you already a spiritual leader. So you have natural spiritual abilities. So you could have some type of gifts. You could have high intuitive abilities. So you can tell when people don't have right motives towards you. You can already tell naturally. You also defeated this hater because you have enough self-love to remove the things that aren't right for you. So because you love your own life and you love yourself and you comfort you, you know that you shouldn't be exposed to people that are trying to harm you. And so you know that you have to leave these types of people, these haters, behind due to your love for self. You've got this hater who, they are people that want to present themselves as your soul tribe. And make the note, I said present themselves as your soul tribe. But yet they're in a state where they need to reconcile with you because they've done things that are wrong towards you. They've been deceptive in what they've presented to you. And they weren't really they weren't really your friend. Or, family members, they present themselves as being a support system to you. Friends being a support system to you. Exes being the support system to you. Whole time, they're none of that at all. They've got plans up their sleeves. This hater or these haters, they operate in performance. They try to make it seem like they resonate with you. They try to make it seem like they're in harmony with you. They're on the same page with you. That's how they were trying to figure out how to defeat you, is to use this performance to be able to keep you in some way trapped or trapped in their agenda, whatever that was. But you defeated these haters because you're already smart enough. You already know what time it is. You already could see the red flags. You've been looking at, Dr. Romney's narcissism on YouTube and reading books on that. So you know what time it is. You know what toxic looks like. You know when people are on bad behaviors and they use methods and strategies to cut your self-esteem down low. They don't want you to benefit from being the highest version of yourself. They hate, they get jealous. They want to stop you from living a better life. And they do all these types of methods. You already know what time it is. You already have the foresight. You're a seer. You have gifts. You have intuitive gifts. You can see when people aren't right. You can look at all the small cues of how they look at you, up and down. You can see the cues of what they say and what they don't say. You can see when they use backhanded compliments to make it seem like they're on your team, but the whole time they're hating on you. So all that insight you've got going on and all that intellect made you defeat these haters. You got these haters, kinky ways haters. They're always looking for ways to explore options. But what they're looking when they are exploring options, they're looking for options to deceive you. That's what they're exploring options for. They wanted to defeat you because all they had to do, they thought, was to create harmony with you. They had to dance with you so that it would look like they were on your team and you wouldn't think anything of it. Whole time you defeated them because you're like a spy. So I'm getting with a spy with undercover is that pile 2, you may be undercover, lightweight. And what I mean by undercover is you might have a disposition that makes you look very non-threatening. You're not that intimidating, right? Maybe you're petite. Maybe you're you have a baby face, Maybe you just come off as really sweet or genuine. So that puts you in this undercover place, because in reality, even though you may look like that, you have enough love for yourself and to produce growth in your life. And you don't let nobody stop you from that type of stuff. And you will push anybody and cut anybody out the way. Or they try to stunt you in any way. You know how to cut them out and cut the BS out right away. But you're undercover in a sense where that helps you defeat your enemies, because they're looking at your appearance or your demeanor and they're judging that. But it's not what it is at all. Your appearance doesn't mean that you're not someone that will cut them out if they actually challenge or try to jeopardize your self-love, or they try to jeopardize your ability to grow in your own life. You have these haters or hater, sneaky link. They're people that are very sneaky. They do things hidden behind the scenes. So you don't know what they're doing and what they're planning and what they're plotting. These haters, they were trying to defeat you by kind of influencing you to broaden your horizons. So I'm getting on this YOLO vibes. They want you to explore with them and travel and stuff like that. And have these experiences, but they want you to say fuck it to your finances, fuck it to your stability. And because there's instability in this world right now, they don't want you to care about the stuff, the instability, and you trying to plan for the future to make sure you have a roof over your head, you have food to eat, and you'll be okay for the long term. They're not going to pay for none of that. So you have to make sure you pay for it. But they want to sabotage you by making you say, well, F it. Let's just do YOLO and not plan. And then whatever happens, happens. If we're homeless, we're homeless. Here you are defeating them because you're smart enough to know, to be this mentor, this teacher, to use your common sense and say, oh no, I don't just go with no crowd and say F it. I'm smart enough to know for the long haul that if I want to maintain or create any level of stability in my life and make sure I'm okay, I'm not going to just say F it and just start spending money willy-nilly to go on these experiences and these trips, and end up devastated with nowhere to live and no food to eat and homeless. Absolutely not. I'm smart enough to know not to do that. And at the same time, you have this ability to grow. So your potential is very high, right? So you're always, not only are you using your common sense and your, mentorship abilities to be this teacher, but you have this ability to focus on growing. So you're trying to improve your life. You're not trying to F it up like these YOLO people. They want you effing your life up so that you don't have growth, you don't have stability, and they want you financially devastated with a soup cup underneath a bridge. You have this masculine, I'm getting X vibes on this one. Toxic masculinity, X or X's, or just people in general that have toxic masculinity traits. They're the man. They're the ones that get to call the shots. They can dominate you. They're the prize. You have to go after them and, kiss their feet. They can do whatever they want while you have to just be their servant and come at their beck and call. They wanted to defeat you because they wanted to present that they were planting seeds with you, that they were trying to harvest with you. But this was just a front. They wanted to make it seem like they were growing with you. Somehow you came off as someone who could be potentially people pleasing. Like, okay, yes, I'll work with you. I'm humble enough to work with you, toxic masculine, to make things work. You were perceived as someone who had that energy, possibly because maybe you were petite, possibly because you have a baby face, possibly because you're very feminine. These are different traits that can make you be perceived as a people pleaser. Not because that's what you are, but because people judge you off those different traits. So something in your traits made you defeat this toxic masculine because the toxic masculine was thinking that you was this people pleaser that was gonna kiss their feet. Whole time you defeated them because you always able to diagnose them. This toxic masculine is probably a narcissist, right? And so you having this appearance of being a people pleaser just because of your height, because of your demeanor, because of how you look, you were judged in a way that actually this toxic masculine, he got exposed because he judged you incorrectly by your appearance. And that worked out in your favor because you're smart enough to diagnose, oh shit, I'm dealing with a narcissist. Yeah. That's how you defeated him or her. You have this other hater or haters, supersize me. They're very excessive and overindulgent in the things that they do in life. That could be in anything. Could be how they spend, could be the YOLO thing, could be, going out to clubs every weekend, all through from Friday to Sunday with no sleep. They don't focus on any priorities or anything like that. They just say whatever, those types of people. These haters or hater, they felt like they wanted to take leadership over your life. They wanted to be able to steer it, to run it. That's how they felt that they were going to defeat you, is by being your captain. Whole time you defeated them because you're smart enough to do research. You gather facts first and get to the truth of a matter before you make your moves. And apparently you were able to assess by dealing with these people by their gaslighting tactics, by their manipulation strategies and methods, that they had motives to either keep you trapped, they had motives to get your self-esteem low enough so you couldn't go after your goals, say that you weren't worthy enough, you're not good enough, an ex who gaslights you and say, oh, your body's not on point, it's not this, it's not that, or an ex who says, I found a girl that was prettier than you. Anything they can do to say that you're less than so that you could believe it. But here you are, this explorer of truth who knows how to study and see the red flags of these people. So you gathered your information. You asked a lot of questions to these exes. You asked a lot of questions to these family members. You inquired to these friends. And through you gathering all this information and you getting all this research about these particular people, you were able to determine, oh, you're dealing with some toxic ass mofos and that they needed to be left behind and cut out. But that's how you defeated them, because you were able to gather information about them to make a decision about the partnership. Spirit, can you give me any descriptions of these particular haters? Getting someone who likes to build. So they like to build, they can build, but you can't build because they're a hater. Someone who's in the construction industry. Someone who works in hospitality is competing with you. Someone who's muscular. I'm getting toxic masculine on that, so it's an ex. They're probably a player, so they like to deal with a lot of different people, right? So they were judging you and thinking that they could run circles around you because of how you looked. They thought you were a people pleaser, but then found out you weren't. Someone who's a peacemaker, life path as a peacemaker, a divine feminine. So I'm getting, only thing I can get on that is that a hater who converted to a divine feminine. So maybe they used to be a hater, but they healed themselves and realized that the key to being able to overcome being a hater is you got to love yourself. So that divine, you can convert from a hater to a divine feminine if you're willing to heal yourself. Someone in secret society. Someone in the mining industry. I got agriculture industry, a Pisces and a Leo. Someone with red wavy hair. Spirit, are there any takeaways you'd like to give to pile 2? I accept that here and now is exactly where I am, and that is a place of profound learning. So you learn your lessons from all of these haters. Keep learning about the red flags and keep learning and thinking about how do these people make you feel? And you'll be able to get down to the nitty gritty of what their motives are. And then you'll be able to make an assessment from there, because it's all, you always want to keep learning so that you can get sharper and sharper with time. Those are the messages I have for you, pile 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when these new videos are uploaded. Plus comment if any of these messages resonated with you. And I offer personal readings, and the details are in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Hi, pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's find out, how have you defeated your haters? I'm getting on this pile. It could be friends, family, exes, co-workers and bosses. That could be these haters, or people in communities in general. On this particular hater, this cuffing season hater, they're a hater that's ready to mingle with people. They're ready to start dating and connecting with new people because they're ready for a relationship. They're on the hunt at this time. This particular hater, they wanted to defeat you, pile 3, because they wanted to craft stories about you, spread rumors and gossip. They wanted to explain to people why you had such a polished persona and your communication was on point, and they were saying all of that stuff was fake about you, that you were a fake bee. And so they were thinking that that gossip would have overtaken you in some way, shape, or form, or defeated you in some way, shape, or form. But you defeated them because you're a legend. You are a legend somehow. And how you are a legend is because you're a master of vibrations. You are someone who is deeply spiritual, but for real spiritual. So you have connections to spirit realms, right? This is not just 3D, but 5D. So now a lot of people don't know that about you, but you have connections to the spirit realm. And so you get stuff in the ethers before it even manifests itself in 3D. So you already knew what they was doing already. That's why you're coming off as this legend, is because you know how to move, because you get your evidence through the spirit realm before it even manifests in the earthly realm. So let's say, for example, that you got the vibes that some of your friends had bad motives towards you. You might get a dream about your friend betraying you. So that kind of gives you what you were feeling got confirmed in the spiritual realm, and you got the downloads that you needed to know, like, oh yeah, this person's not trustworthy. And along with that, you're also looking at evidence to see if this could potentially be true. You have this hater who is outright karmic. They are someone that you need to just learn lessons from and then move on from. This particular hater, they wanted to defeat you by presenting themselves as someone that wanted to accommodate you. They wanted to create a clean persona that you could trust, a pure persona with pure motives, someone who was here to take care of you and make sure you were supported. And that's how they felt they would defeat you. You defeated them because they thought that you were someone, or they had perceived you as someone that was very cooperative with the environment that you were in. So if you were in a friend group, they thought that you were someone who was cooperative and you were very much into connection, and that you were just going to stay quiet and sit on the sidelines when things were happening that weren't right, because they would get your cooperation. But then they came to find out you was a full-on leader, and that you don't play that stuff. So if they come at you crazy with these toxic behaviors and these manipulative tactics and these gaslighting tactics, and they try to figure out how to humble you, you're going to pull out your boss energy and say, absolutely not. I'm putting my foot down. You're going to either get checked, or I'm going to just walk away from you and block you and never come back. You have this other hater or haters, TikTok, represented by the TikTok. They're the hater that likes to procrastinate. When there's deadlines, they wait till the day before the deadline to actually get started. They're those type of haters. These haters, they wanted to have insight on you, and they were looking at this as a plan for their agenda, to keep you trapped in some way, shape, or form. They were trying to gather information on you, and they were looking for some type of insight, studying you to look at your moves so they would know how to, whatever it was, trap you, find out how to find your weak points so they could hit those weak points, make your self-esteem low, not let you block you from reaching the stars. That's how they were trying to defeat you. Here you are as this public servant. You're someone who's an official, right? So you're pretty advanced in the way you operate. You've learned a lot from your lessons in life, which has made you this advanced public official, where people are looking to you as this speaker to impart your knowledge. You also defeated these haters or hater because you was impulsive enough to say, F it, I'm out. And you went ahead and caused that, cut that tie immediately. And it caused a chaotic moment for these haters. And so they were mad because they were like, ooh, Pile 3 is so impulsive, how they just cut you off just like that. And we weren't even expecting it. So that's what made them feel upset, was you defeated them by cutting them off abruptly. You got these blues haters, people who are feeling really sad right now. They're heavy in their emotions. They're in mental distress. Probably most likely by the things that they've done, the actions that they've taken has led to them being in this state. They wanted to defeat you by creating a whole bunch of chaos in your life, whether they wanted to just direct you in a way, maybe they wanted to figure out how to abuse their power if they were in a power position. So like a boss figured, well, let's try to figure out how to make this coworker not confident about their work. Let's nitpick. Let's micromanage. Let's cause chaos. The coworkers could be like, well, we're jealous of pile 3, so let's try to make pile 3 gaslight them and say they're not that good at their job by nitpicking them, or we'll try to bully them. We'll social bully them. We'll go get coffee with the other coworkers and leave them by themselves. Anything they could do to cause some type of chaos, any madness around you. I'm also getting possession on this. So these blues haters who are sad, it could be also organizations where they feel that they get to possess you. You're their property. So when people see you as their property, they get to dictate what you get to do in your life and what you don't get to do. So in a family sense, the family can say, well, we possess you, you're our property, so you don't get to make your own choices to make your life better. In an organization sense, they're saying, well, we own you like property, so what we say you do for your life, you do. You don't get to make choices for what you want to do to take care of your life or to make your life balanced or go after your goals or aspirations, since we possess you as property. Those are some scenarios and examples. So they were feeling that that's how they were going to defeat you. But whole time you were defeating them because you're like a magician that knows how to manifest very well. You have the power of manifestation. And so you utilize your potential to the highest degree. So you already know what time it is. You're someone who also fights for justice. You're a pursuer of what is fair to you and also fair to others as a whole. So your fairness and your justice and your fight for what is right in combination with manifestation is very powerful, because not only are you a fighter, but you know how to make it happen on top of that. And so that's why you've defeated your haters. You have this key player hater. And when I get key player, I'm thinking in my mind, someone who has a title, but maybe sometimes they don't live up to that title. Or it could be a boss who's a boss, but the boss is a bad boss. Or a mom who's not really delivering as a good mom to you. Or a friend who's in a friendship group, but they're kind of like the host or the leader of the group in some way. Something like that, where they're this key player. So this hater, or haters in particular, they thought they'd defeat you by moving quietly like a ninja. They think that you wouldn't know what they were doing in secret behind the scenes. Whatever their hidden agenda was for you, they were thinking if they moved quietly, you wouldn't know. But the whole time you defeated them because you're already an authority in yourself. No one's going to call shots. Nobody's going to be sneaky behind your back. You already know what it is you want in your life and what you don't want in your life. So you don't want no sneaky people in your life. So you already know you'll cut them out if you find out what it is. You're also someone who will avoid any levels of abuse or addictions because you're not going to let those things control you. Whereas these so-called key player haters that they feel like they're irreplaceable, whole time they may be using their agenda and moving sneaky was to get you caught up. You have this other hater, light bulb moment hater. They've had this sudden realization. They wanted to defeat you by getting some more information on you. Maybe they're talking to other friends about you. Maybe you have family members that are trying to get information on you through social media means, or maybe they're talking to people that you used to talk to or you're still talking to now. Any way to gather information about you and utilize that information against you in some way, shape, or form, to trap you or to manipulate you into some type of guilt, whatever they could do, but they're trying to get information on you so that can be used in their favor. You defeated them because you're someone who's very creative. You know how to innovate. You know how to maneuver in situations where you can create things or create scenarios that will work out in your favor. You also have realizations about certain situations where if something's not right for you or it's not good for you, you know how to act and move forward. You also know how to harvest properly. So if you're going to grow something, you need to know and assess and gather information and figure out and have realizations about people, places, and things, whether or not you should be investing in them. And if you gather enough information and you find out that they're unhealthy and they're toxic and they're stagnant, you're not going to actually water any weeds. You're not going to do that because it's not going to yield any harvest for you. You're going to make sure that you're going to harvest on things that green grass that's going to continue to grow and progress. So if it doesn't have the right soil, just like a partner doesn't have the right soil, so to speak, they play lots of games and they're a player and all they do is run circles around you, you know that's a bad investment. You see friends, they constantly want to one up you, compete with you, say that they're better than you, try to bring down your self-esteem and laugh at you, knock you down. You know that that's not something you should invest in. You see family members, they say you need to come for family night and have dinner, but we want to also talk to you like you're a piece of trash and you're a black sheep and you're not following the crowd and doing what we want you to do, because we don't care about what you're doing to be happy. We care about you falling in line with what we want. And then you're saying, okay, no more harvesting there. I will keep my distance and prioritize my goals and my well-being and my health and my mental health, and I will proceed with my goals as I should. Those are some scenarios in which you are harvesting and having realizations about certain partnerships that should be invested in and one that should not be invested in based upon the information you gather. Spirit, are there any description you'd like to give to me regarding these haters? I got someone with amber eyes, someone with tattoos, someone with dark straight hair, someone who works in the tech industry. So that's why I got coworkers, someone that's an Aquarius, someone of mixed race, friends, someone, an online community. So you may have haters in an online community that may be trying to attack you. Maybe they're just having arguments with you in the comment section. Maybe they're trying to false report your channel. Those are ways that they hate. A karmic feminine. Oops, energy, someone in the energy and gas industry hating. And in-laws fell out. Aunties and in-laws. Be careful of aunties and in-laws as well. Spirit, are there any takeaways you'd like to provide to pile 3? I am ready for something bigger, better, and brighter. No matter what you experience with haters and stuff like that, you're on your way, you're on your path to making your life better and better, and you have so much to look forward to. Those are the messages I have for you, Pile 3. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Plus comment if any of these messages resonated with you. I offer personal readings and the details are in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed your reading.